What's up? Welcome to your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Friday, April 19th, 2024. Hope everybody's having a good end to the week or beginning of your weekend. A lot going on. Well, kind of a little. Today, actually, we just had some new headlines I'm going to hit you with right off the top. So one of those NCAA fancy ass committees and all of their, smart people in their committees, they passed the helmet communications rule for 2024. So that has been approved. The Buckeyes and most teams have been working with it throughout the spring. So no huge surprise there. It's just a matter of, going through all of the pomp and circumstance of the BS with the NCAA. So helmet comms are in. Also, the tablets, iPads or whatever they're using on sidelines, those are approved. But with every good thing, there's a bad thing, and they always put it last. The 2-minute warning has been approved as well. I can go either way on the 2-minute warning. Obviously, it's good for the TV networks. It's one more commercial break they can slap us with. But at least it helps those teams if you're down, late in a game. It gives you an extra timeout, essentially. So it's one thing that teams that are ahead have to obviously accommodate for, another stoppage, again, a free timeout to the losing team. So I don't know. I could go either way on that. I like it if Ohio State's ever losing late in a game, but when's that? I mean, outside of the Georgia game, when we're down by a touchdown, the Cheaters game too, but time wasn't the issue in that game. Anyway, so helmet comms are in. Now, let's get to today's topic. I will get to your questions and comments in the live chat. So I appreciate everybody coming in. And if you would, I know but I have to say it anyways, because we do occasionally have new people coming in through the door. Please hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. And if you want to get really nuts, hit the bell for notifications. All of this is free of charge. All right. This show does not cost you a dime, a penny, nothing. All you have to do is those three things. It helps other people find the show, obviously. So let's get into today's topic. Spring standouts. We didn't see much of spring other than the spring game. So that's kind of what we have to go on most recently. Who impressed? Oh, hey, before I get going, I'm going to put this in the chat as well. So I was digging into some team win over-unders for this coming season. And since Deion Sanders, Coach Prime is always in the freaking news for doing virtually nothing, my question to the chat, the odds are set at 5.5 wins, team totals for Colorado this season. Do you think they go over or under 5.5? That's the question for the chat. Let me pop that in there. Over or under 5.5 wins in 2024? Yes. There you go. All right. So pin that so it never goes away. All right, let's go. Today's topic, we're talking about the spring standouts. I'm starting with the quarterbacks right off the top, and we're going to get some pushback here. I know it, but that's the point of the show, right? Everybody has to have an opinion. Have a take, don't suck, right? Will Howard. Will Howard impressed me, not by lighting up the scoreboard, not by completing a deep ball to Jeremiah Smith or anything like that, but more smaller things that are important. So anyway, he went 9 of 13 in the spring game, 77 yards. He only quarterbacked 2 drives with the starting offense. Should be noted, I think this is important too, when you're reading between the lines and trying to figure out who the starting quarterback is going to be. It should be noted that Howard was the only quarterback that took reps with the starting offense in the spring game. I think that means something. No matter what the coaches say before and after the game, during the game with Coach Day, I think that means something. Just my opinion. But Howard brings the pocket presence. That's one of the little things that you you don't just have that. It's not easy to teach. Ryan Day mentioned it. His pocket feel a few times this spring when Ryan Day's talked to the media. He said his ability to stay in the pocket and deliver the football is really important to Ryan Day. And it's difficult to teach, to keep your eyes downfield while evading a rush, feeling it almost like a sixth sense. I see dead people. No, I mean, like feeling that without actually seeing it. So last year, I found this stat out of 54 Power 5 quarterbacks with at least 90 dropbacks under pressure, Will Howard ranked 16th in passing efficiency while under that pressure. Now, compare that to Kyle McCord, who ranked 47th. And when you think about Ohio State shopping around in the portal this offseason when they got Will Howard's efficiency under pressure ranks third among the quarterbacks who are in the portal. Dylan Gabriel, who is now at Oregon, and Blake Shapen, I don't know who the fuck that is, who is now at Mississippi State. They were the only two ahead of him. And you do remember that Ohio State did go after Dylan Gabriel. I'm not a fan. Glad he didn't show up in Columbus. So, but just want to point out, when you're looking at these efficiency ratings, rankings under pressure, Will Howard does well. Helps that he's 6'5", 240. That doesn't hurt. But anyways, and then one more thing, when we're talking about Will Howard and what I liked, what really surprised me is the RPOs. You're going to see more run pass option plays under Chip Kelly. And he showed in the spring game that he can, well, first Chip Kelly showed a lot of RPOs in the spring game, but then more importantly, Howard handled them well. He made the right decisions. He showed the ability to make the right decisions, make the right read, and that can really open up so much for the offense. Because making the wrong read or the wrong decision after the snap usually results in a negative play or possibly a turnover, which is negative too, right? So those little things I think are important. These are the things that were missing last year. And we really haven't seen this, from anybody else. So Will Howard is my first guy. Next, I'm going to go with both the freshman running backs. These two guys really impressed me and kind of surprised me. I didn't know what to expect coming in. And the O-line should get a pat on the back as well, even though there was tackling on these freshmen, by the way. But the O-line did open some holes, I'm sure most of it was against the second team D-line, but those guys are juniors. Anyways, James Peoples, first one right off the bat here. He had 40 yards and a touchdown on 10 carries. Nice little 4.0 average for you and me. And then I really liked his 3 receptions out of the backfield for 23 yards. He showed shiftiness, side to side, quick feet, and then that burst to get north and south. But then I think, well, anyways, I think Peoples is your number 3 in the depth chart now that Dallin Hayden's gone. Just my opinion. Chip Kelly mentioned this after the spring game quote. James really flashed early for me, not knowing where his background is, where they're from, who they are. This guy has this stars. This guy has that stars. They're all Buckeyes, Kelly said. I think James has got really good feel and vision. He can hit things. That's what you want in a running back. Hit it again. But then Sam Williams-Dixon, SWD, he showed that he deserves a spot in the rotation somehow. He deserves a role, I think. I know not everybody can get the ball in every game, but I think RB4 is definitely going to get the ball at some point this year. He will get snaps, even if he gets redshirted eventually. Who's to say right now? But he got the most touches on offense in the spring game. Led the team in rushing, 78 yards on 11 carries. Nice little 7 yards a carry average there. 1 touchdown. He had a 7-yard reception as well. On his touchdown, that was a 22-yarder, by the way, on an inside zone play. He basically carried the pile to the end zone and over the goal line. Was a tough run for a guy that's not real big. But he was consistently finding holes and bounced it to the outside when he could. Showed quick feet, and it's going to make him valuable for the Buckeyes as a freshman. So both running backs really surprised me. It's great to see. Made me feel much better about the running back room. I was concerned losing Dallin, again, and I'm sure most of Buckeye Nation was too, So I feel good about our third and fourth options right now. And who's to say we go into the portal and grab somebody, or maybe you would give TC Caffey a scholarship. That'd be nice. He's been around a while. All right, now I got 3 more guys I want to touch on. First one is the corner, Calvin Simpson-Hunt. CSH is my guy. He went head-to-head multiple times against Jeremiah Smith and held his own. He took advantage of an overthrow by Lincoln Keenholz and came up with the pick there. He had 4 solo tackles, and Jim Knowles noticed that. He said, quote, after the game, quote, he's one of those guys that just competes every day. Doesn't say much. He's trying to live up to the standard of the other guys. And you see him coming along. You see him step by step coming along, and you put him in a competitive atmosphere. See him step up. That's a great sign. So CSH really impressed me. I think he's got to be your corner 4, right? You got Burke, IGB, Matthews. Matthews will play slot and outside corner. I think CSH kind of has to be your 4th corner in. He's going to get plenty of snaps. Then the 2 safeties, I want to close out or finish my surprises with the 2 safeties. True freshman Jalen McLean. He undercut a corner route for an interception in the spring game. Then Jaden Bonsu, he had 5 tackles. We know injuries limited the safety depth here in the spring game. Not a big deal. Ransom was out. Malik Hartford was out with a minor procedure. Jihad Carter still out with an injury. I'm not sure what's going on with him. But strong safety, Jaden Bonsu was in at the strong. He spent much of the time with the ones in spring ball. So that's huge. He's known as a big hitter, but he's got an opportunity to really develop more of his game, and both McLean and Bonsu got a ton of reps. So that's a big deal. With McLean, the coaches and players talked about his ability to get to the football and hawk it down. Bonsu got work with the ones, and that's going to prepare him for real game situations, Bonsu didn't play last year, took the red shirt. So the experience that he got this spring is definitely going to help him for his first real snaps in games this year. Jim Knowles mentioned the 2 guys. Quote, our depth is really down at safety this spring. It opened up opportunities, and Bonsu is a guy who really got a lot of reps. You saw him improve. Then McLean, I think, is a great plus. He's a guy who has the football intelligence he's picked up. Of those incoming freshmen who still should be in high school, he's a guy I think I can point to and say he's going to be a player. So both those guys impressed Jim Knowles, and I was really happy to see them step up. Whether the wind was a factor in some of these interceptions or not, I don't know. Nobody mentioned it during the broadcast, really. But anyways, Bonsu and McLean, one's a redshirt freshman, one the true freshman. So both Jersey guys, Jersey tough, Jersey strong. So very proud of those guys and their Jersey ways. So let's pop in the chat, see what's going on, do a little handshaking, meet and greet, high-fiving, usual. Let me get some water first. Okay. All right. But this is first one in. OHIOTU, sir. Billy, Tyler, all in. Billy says, howdy, gentlemen. Odysseus says IGB was locking it down. Maybe we can call him IGB Island. I like that. Yeah, IGB Island. Billy says, thank you, Hairball, for helmet comms. Exactly. Tyler, what's up, Tyler? Tyler says, you hear that? Michigan man helmet communications? Yes, exactly. The Connor Stallions rule, you might call it. What's that dude going to do now when football season comes around? Can't go around stealing signs anymore. Seems like you're out of a gig. You have to go full time on those vacuum repairs, right? Anyway, Odysseus says Hairball still may be suspended by the NFL. NCAA hasn't ruled on his lying about Cheeseburger Gate. He's the coach not cooperating. Yeah, I don't think the NFL is going to do shit. I didn't like the way they suspended Terrell Pryor when he came out. I didn't like the way they blackballed Tressel. So the NFL can kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck. If they want to suspend Hairball, go ahead. I'm all for it. I would be shocked if they ever do the right thing. Billy says, I hope they do suspend his ass. Odysseus says, hammer the under on Colorado. I agree. I already put money in, man. I bet that shit as soon as it came out. Colorado under 5.5 wins. They won 4 last year. Let's take a quick look at Colorado's schedule while we're on the topic. We'll come back to the Buckeyes in 1 sec. Let's look at this schedule. Oh, yeah. Oh, North Dakota State, way to go big. Those guys could actually beat your ass, you know. They're pretty good for a D2 team. Colorado has to go to Nebraska. I bet that's a loss. Colorado State, they might win that one. Baylor, that's going to be a tough one. Dave Aranda don't play. UCF, that's a loss. K-State, that's a loss. Arizona, that's going to be a barn burner. Cincy at Colorado, I'll take Cincy. Texas Tech, I'll take Texas Tech over Colorado. Utah, that's definitely a loss, even at Colorado. Is that a rivalry game? Should be. Then at Kansas, that's a barn burner. And then Oklahoma State, that's a loss. Yeah. I don't have 5 wins here. I don't have 5 close ones. You know, like coin flip games. I'm not seeing it. Prime, you're in trouble. You might want to get out there on the road, son. Start doing some recruiting. That's what cracks me up. It's such a hilarious recruiting strategy. Dude will not go out on the road and visit kids at their school, their homes, nothing. He's too good for it. It's all about the Louis bags and the transfer portal. Well, you just portaled your way to 4 wins back-to-back seasons, the way I see it. Billy says, under, Prime has no idea how to put together a winning team. Exactly. He might be able to coach it because he's been coached by Bowden, you know, Mickey Andrews, those guys at Florida State back in the day. But yeah, he needs a general manager. He doesn't even know what's going on with his team. I don't think he could name all 85 players on his team right now, or however many he has, 65, who knows. But I don't think he knows anybody on his team except for his kids. And by the way, you may want to build up some depth, even if you're only playing 12 games a season. You know, they're not getting to a bowl game again or ever. You know, they're definitely not getting to the playoffs. So Shedeur was beat the hell up by the end of the year. And what's his name? Hunter, the corner, went both ways. He was wasted by the end of the year. You got to get some depth in there, man. I don't know how you don't know that, but I know Prime played like every down. He rarely was missing time, but you got to get depth, all positions. Like Ryan Day has been saying all spring, they forget pair and spare. You need 3 at every position. You know, there is no spare anymore. You need 3 dudes at every position. Prime's going through it. Tyler says under on Colorado. They have two players, Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, nobody else. Yeah, and what happens when those guys go out with injuries? Where do you turn? Mm-hmm. Billy says primarily getting his son killed last year because he couldn't put together an O-line. That's another one. You probably need to protect your son, the quarterback. Otherwise, he's not even going to the NFL. He won't be alive. Excellent point, though, Billy. Odysseus says Howard did have a nice throw to G. Scott. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Odysseus says, but don't you know, Joe, according to some of the fan base, Howard is already a bust and a waste of $1 million in NIL money. Yeah, I've been told that, Odysseus. Yeah. People crack me up. But everybody has an opinion. I'm never going to say mine is right or wrong or indifferent. It's just my opinion. Same for you guys. I respect it. But I can respectfully disagree when people get stupid about it, and say that, Ohio State never plays the most talented guys. That's not true. That's not freaking true, because we would not be in the playoffs every season if we didn't play the most talented guys. So yeah, I know Odysseus. And I think a lot of people bought into that Julian Sand hype way too quick. I mean, I don't know who was really spreading that. Was it Buckeye Scoop or somebody really was pumping the tires of Julian Sand, saying that he was, the next coming and he should be like the backup or something? Come on. Dude just got here. He should be in high school still, So, yeah, let's pump the brakes on the freshman QBs. They're good, yes, but they haven't even been here for 3 months, 4 months. So, but yeah, I like Devin Brown. Don't get me wrong. He's a gamer, tough guy. Forget about the injuries. I don't hold injuries against any player. He just, I think Will Howard has some of those characteristics through experience. He's built up, like I said, the pocket presence, making good decisions with the ball. I think Devin Brown still kind of has that jittery feet. He's too quick to take off and get downfield too soon at times. Not every time. I saw some good things from him in the spring game too. We need consistency. That's most important. We can't be making mistakes. We've got to get first downs. And, that's what we were lacking last year from McCord. The pocket presence, awareness. He dropped back 17 yards and then try and throw it at Chip Trainum. It's like, what are you doing? Or he'd whip it into the dirt and get flagged for intentional grounding, get a strip sack. It seemed like he was always a second away from a strip sack because he never knew how to slide over, shuffle his feet a little bit to get out of harm's way for a split second to buy time. That's one thing Fields did well. He left the pocket a lot more often, but Howard has that ability, that awareness. But Billy says this fall camp QB battle is setting to be as stupid as last year's among the fan base. Yeah, every year is a stupid one, it seems. That's why they play the games, right? That's why they play the games. Odysseus says McCord, bad RPO read led to first INT versus the Cheaters. Yeah, that slant that he threw in Marv's general vicinity. Yeah, they knew it was coming. The corner sat on that route. He knew it was fucking coming. Bullshit. Yeah. Odysseus continues. He says, if he hands it to Trey, it's a house call. 14-point swing makes me sick. Yeah. Even if it's not a house call, it's not a fucking 1st and 10 at your own 6 to the Cheaters, I mean, yeah, I'm with you. Troy, what's up, Troy? Says, according to asterisk fans, everything about the Buckeyes was a waste of NIL. Meanwhile, their team has Mo, Larry, and Curly at wide receiver and quarterback. Exactly. Yeah, they are in the market for some dudes. Although not really into the whole recruiting scene this year, are they? Are they still behind Toledo? They're like 50 something. They were 50th the other day. I think they're still down there. I think we talked about it last Sunday night, actually, on the live show. Me and Sean. They were at 50th with 4 stars, which all committed before the national championship game, by the way. Yeah. Excellent point, though, Troy. Troy says they keep thinking they won't miss a beat, but I have a hard time seeing the asterisk with more than 8 wins. Oh, yeah. 8 wins. I got them. I think I got them on the under. I think I got them at under 9.5. I got to check my bet slip here. Make sure I got that one in. I'm pretty sure I did. Let's see where they're at right now. Okay, bets. Big Ten. Yeah, under 9.5. Got that at minus 125, so a little juicy, but it's all right. So, yeah, I hammer the under too. A little bit. Here we go. Yeah, they keep thinking that they are all that. Like they didn't lose anybody, right? Defense is good. I wish that Will Johnson rumor was true, right? Whoever was spreading that, that he was going to enter the portal. Some fake ass. What was that? That account was called Pete Thamel's Toe or Pete Thamel Toe or something. That's funny. Anyway, Odysseus says if Orgy completes 50% of his passes, prepare for scum fans to say he's a mix of Cam Newton and Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Oh yeah, you know it's going to start. You can just read the messages right now. I can see it coming. Yeah, 50%. He'd be lucky to complete that, man. I don't know who he's going to throw to though. Loveland, Colston Loveland, is that it? Maybe Donovan Edwards out of the backfield. Other than that, I don't know who they have left at receiver. Troy V says, I'm a Bears fan and almost hoping they pick JJ just to destroy any chance he has in the NFL. That's a good one. Yeah. It's a lot of teams that could destroy a quarterback's future. Yeah. Odysseus says, I would stop cheering for the Bears if they pick Beavis. Billy says JJ can't read a defense. That could be true. He never really had to. Just turn around and hand it off. Occasionally throw a little pop pass over the middle to the tight end. He's never impressed me other than his mobility. That's about it. Troy B says, I'm about there already. They bring all these weapons to give a rookie QB. What a waste. Yeah. Bears. Billy says, prime through guys who transferred out under the bus. Good luck having a whole new O-line every year. It's a good point. Even Cormani McLean, he talked about him on the way out. That sounds like an oil and water scenario there. The kid didn't want to work. Prime, obviously, being a former cornerback, is going to probably lean a little heavier in the coaching on the corners. So if you're not, doing everything you're supposed to, he's going to be hard on you. But we'll see where McLean ends up. I'm kind of curious. I assume he comes back down to Florida. He's from Lakeland. So you got UCF, within an hour. You can do any of the Florida schools, honestly. Gators, Knowles, Canes, whatever. We'll see. All that talent, hate to see it wasted, but oh well. Odysseus says, Prime loves him some Prime. He sure does. He likes to talk. If he wanted, he could get more attention if he would just hit the recruiting trail, man. He could do a whole tour. People would fucking love that shit, Recruits' parents would be telling the neighbors, yeah, Coach Prime's coming over tonight for dinner, Be the envy of the block. we'll see what happens. Billy says, I still like Air. Wouldn't be surprised if he's our starting quarterback next year. Oh, that's aggressive, Billy. Wow. Do you think Air starts over Devin Brown next year? I don't know about that. That's interesting. That's something to think about. Hmm. Um, Tyler says the Honda. I'm so glad we got rid of him. Yep. Honda McCord. Odysseus says, yeah, 55th and dropping. Oh, Michigan's recruiting. Yeah. That's awesome. Are they going to take another commit anytime soon? Visits are almost done. It's almost time for the dead period. And then you got official visits coming up here. What was it end of May? Yeah, like May 31st starts official visits and camps and all that through June. So they're going to have some time off to think about it. Troy says, last I seen, they had like 4 recruits. Yeah, yeah, they're in sad state of affairs. Billy says, I saw only 3. Yeah, 3, 4. Yeah, neither is good. Odysseus says only Sparty is behind them in the Big Ten. I'm not surprised, honestly. I'm not surprised. I wonder how Sparty is, how their infrastructure is. Did everybody stay? You think they kept everybody from Mel's regime? And what's their NIL like? It seems like it's basically the place got nuked and you're starting from scratch, like across the board in every way. It's kind of how it looks. I have to get Sean's opinion Sunday night, see what he thinks. Troy says, might have been 3. I'm old and forget at times. Yeah, same here. Tyler says, Joe, did you see Michigan's transfer portal ranking? They're almost 102nd in the nation as well. No, I didn't see that. Jeez, these guys are pathetic. How many people have they lost here? Let's do a quick look. I can pull it up. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 12 guys in the last 2 portal windows. So the since the middle of December to today, I've got 12 guys leaving Michigan. Most recently was on Tuesday. Christian Dixon, wide receiver, he's a 3-star. And then they lost a wide receiver back in March. Another wide receiver in March. He's ending up at UMass, so nice development there. Keon Sabb, that's a safety. He's on his way to Alabama or at Alabama already. Then before that, they had a D lineman, a 3-star, and a tackle, 3-star, tight end, 3-star. So, yeah, they're losing dudes. They're going to have an easy time hitting 85. I don't think that's going to be a challenge. At least staying under it. They won't be going over, that's for sure. But yeah, Odysseus said, heard Prime wants recruits to come to his place and not visit them. Yeah. Yeah, that's an awesome strategy, isn't it? That's how you really go out there and reach out to kids and show them that you're interested in them coming to your school. I think he just doesn't want to spend hours and hours on a flight. This, you got a long ways to go, man, even to California. I would imagine that's their most fertile state. California and Texas might be equal distance, but you're talking about long ass flights, man. It's not like a 2-hour flight, right? Especially if you're getting to the areas like Southern California. Well, there's I don't know. Houston and Dallas are probably the stronger Texas metropolis areas for high school football. So, but those aren't super close to Colorado, you know. Billy says Prime has literally not made one off-campus visit to a recruit since he got to Boulder. No, he hasn't. When he was at Jackson State, was he had to be recruiting. He had to be going out, right? You'd think. Anyways. Doug, what's up, Doug? He says, I'm late. What have I missed? LOL. Oh, we're talking a little bit of Colorado Buffalo football. So if you're into that, um, we also talked about our spring surprises, standouts from the spring. And yeah, I'm willing to listen to your guy. Who surprised you? Give me in the chat. Give me one player, or you can go with one position, but I prefer one player. Like Doug, I'll recap it quickly for you since we're just past 5 o'clock. Halfway through. So Will Howard was my surprise. Will Howard, James Peoples, the freshman running back, Sam Williams-Dixon, the other freshman running back, cornerback Calvin Simpson-Hunt, and then safety Jalen McClain, true freshman, and then redshirt freshman Jaden Bonsu. Those were my guys that surprised me. I won't give you the whole rundown and the whole spiel again. Basically, I was saying, while you guys think about your, big surprise, spring surprise, I was saying Will Howard has that pocket presence that maybe Devin Brown doesn't quite have. The ability to look downfield and slide in the pocket, move around, not move away from pressure, things like that. When we compared the 54 Power 5 quarterbacks with at least 90 dropbacks under pressure last year, Howard ranked 16th out of them. Kyle McCord ranked 47th. So, and Howard's under pressure rankings were third among the portal quarterbacks. So he's behind Dylan Gabriel and something called a Blake Shapen. Sounds like a country singer. I don't know. Call me crazy. Anyway, so then the RPOs. You're going to see a lot more RPOs with Chip Kelly, and Will Howard showed in the spring game he can make the right decisions. A wrong decision is a negative play, whether it's a pick, fumble, whatever, zero gain. And then James Peoples, 40 yards and a touchdown in the spring game, 3 receptions also for 23. Sam Williams-Dixon led the team in touches on offense, 78 yards, 11 carries, a touchdown, had 1 reception for 7. Calvin Simpson-Hunt went up against Jeremiah Smith multiple times, held his own, got a pick off of an underthrown ball by Lincoln Keenholz. And then Jalen McClain, he got a pick. He undercut a corner route for that one, and Bonsu had 5 tackles. Those are my guys. So let's go back to the chat and see if we've loaded up some names here. Troy says, could you imagine how many recruits Prime could get if he visited a player's house? They'd have the top class as he has the name recognition above all others. Exactly. That's my point. I mean, if Prime is coming to your town, you're going to tell everybody, you're going to tell all the kids at school, you're going to get all pictures. Look, Prime, here's Prime in the living room, stuff like that. Odysseus says, been hyping up Dion and saying stealing signs is no big deal. Klatt has some moronic takes. Oh, yeah. Of course. Klatt he's a top stepper. Klatt's a top stepper. He is that guy. When you're ahead, he is leading the charge. When you're behind, he's sitting on the bench, picking his nose. Yeah. Klatt loves some attention. First of all, we got to acknowledge that. He does know football from the quarterback's point of view. But yeah, basically being fine with the whole Stallion situation, that's an issue. You can't just brush that under the rug. Klatt, come on. So that definitely loses some respect, in my opinion, on Klatt. And then hype it up Dion and stuff. Yeah, he had Dion on his freaking podcast. Was it right after Dion got the job last year. He had Dion on his podcast. So yeah, whatever, Clap. Maybe Clatt needs to kick in some of that salary on their NIL front, you know, so they can get some quality dudes in there. Just speaking the truth here. Billy says, I like Clatt in the booth, but I don't listen to him outside it anymore. Yeah, it's probably a wise way to do it, Billy. Troy says, me too. I gave up on Clatt last year. Yeah. Doug says, I think Devin Brown gets too excited. Yeah, he has those happy feet, you know. Got the happy feet. Drink of water. Got to make good decisions back there. You can't be crazy, you know, frantic, freaking out and shit. But I do like Devin Brown as a backup quarterback, though. I do like that. Billy agrees with Troy that he gave up on Clatt last year. Billy says Peoples and CSH and Mitchell were my surprises of the spring game. Okay. Mitchell Melton. Yeah. He looks good, man. Back from, he was injured a year ago, you know, towards, I believe it was his other ACL in the spring game in 2023. So it's good to see him back out there. He's a worthy backup on that D line, man. I'm telling you, he should get some snaps for sure. Yeah, CSH looked good. Jermaine Matthews looked good out there. Secondary is so freaking stacked and loaded. Shit, secondary is good, man. We just got to keep filling those holes when guys go on to the NFL. Got to keep replacing them. Got to keep the conveyor belt going, right? Pookie and Ray, what's up, man? Good to see you. Sonny and CJ need to be starting. So are you benching Cody Simon? Because somebody has to play Mike. I don't think we're going to go with too many 3 linebacker sets. We will against teams like the Cheaters, you know. We might have to go 3 linebackers against Penn State if they keep losing wide receivers. And if Drew Aller keeps whipping the ball into the 3rd row. Did you guys see that 2-minute video of his lowlights from the spring game? Aller did not improve over the offseason. Wildly inaccurate. Yikes. And are you shocked that James Franklin cannot develop a quarterback? Me neither. Back to the chat here. Troy says, my biggest takeaway from the spring game was our secondary is going to be the best we've had in a while. BIA is BACK. I agree. This is going to be fun to watch. Best against the pass in the country last year. When Jim Knowles came in, they were 96th against the pass. Best in the country. Secondary is loaded. And we didn't even have Ransom in that spring game, by the way. Bonsu got the start there at the strong safety. He's a hitter, man. He's a big kid. Doug says, my biggest surprise of the spring game was Sam Williams-Dixon. Yeah, he looked good. Quick feet. And Quinshawn Judkins, too. The few snaps he got. Quick feet and whole. Man, these guys can shuffle their feet. But I agree, Doug. SWD is carving out a little role for him this year as a freshman, you know. Odysseus says DT is stacked as well. Jason Moore impressed. Yeah, I'm a big Jason Moore fan. 6'6", 6'6", coming up the gut at D tackle. Yikes. He's going to knock down some passes, right? And get some sacks. Billy says, I think the O-line played halfway decent. All right, Billy. Giving Justin Fry a little reprieve there for a bit. Hey, Billy, did you check out today's show? Talked about O-line recruiting, by the way. Today's Daily Blitz. So, yeah, I agree, Billy. They opened up some holes. Um, Still got beat up a little bit by Jack, but yeah. Odysseus says big arms going to bat down a bunch of balls. Oh, Jason Moore, yeah, yeah, he's a big dude. Um, and he's got that pass rush ability. Brings that to the defensive tackle position. Played DN edge rusher in high school, of course. Um, he's going to be a good one. I'm a big fan of Jason Moore. He's definitely getting reps, getting snaps this year. Uh, Troy says their recruiting in the secondary has been ridiculous so far for 25. Looks like they're reloading year after year. I agree. Um, yeah, I agree. 2025 secondary is reloading. Now we need to land a couple more of these high-end safeties, these 5 stars, Trey McNutt, Fahim Delane. We got to land some high-end quality back there. So it's on Guerreri. Put respect on his name, Matt Guerreri. It's got a couple of 4 stars in there now. So let's see him bring in some big fish. Let's see. Back to the chat. Pookie and Ray Ray show says absolutely to benching Cody Simon, huh? 50-year senior doesn't get any play, huh? All right. Then who's your Mike? Who's your middle linebacker, Sonny or CJ? Because CJ has struggled with the defense, learning it, knowing it, obviously getting comfortable in it. So I'm not sure CJ is your Mike. You need your Mike is your quarterback of your defense. He's got to make sure everybody on the defense is aligned and knowing their responsibilities on every single snap. But I respect it. Billy says, in Allard's defense, there was a lot of wind that day. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Every time Allard throws an incompletion, we blame it on the rain and the wind. All right. I'll hear that, Billy. I know. Happy Valley's kind of a, cow pasture out there. Billy says, how many sacks a game will we average? Oh, that's a good question. Let's go check out the NCAA sacks per game from 2023. Where's my CFB stats? Team rankings will work too. Okay, sacks. Not allowed. Let's go national sacks. Here we go. Okay. So last year, we were 60th in the country with 28 total sacks. That's 2.15 per game. Penn State was first with 3.77. They had 49. 3.77 per game. I think we can get up over 3 for sure. 3 per game. That would put us around 10th, 11th, 12th, something like that. You got Florida State at 7th last year. UCLA was up there. They were 6th. Then you got Penn State, of course, was first. Vatech, Oregon State. So a bunch of randos up there. Bama's 16th. That's unusual. I don't even see Georgia in the top 20, 30. Yeah. So I'm going to say 3, Billy. I'm going with 3. An even 3.0. That's a huge improvement to go from 60th up to first or to top 10. I'll take that. And we should be able to pad our stats with the first 4 or 5 games, so I think we can probably get more than that, more than 3 in the first 5 games. And that vaunted Iowa, our offensive attack is not going to be a concern. Sage Ohio says, hello, Buckeyes. Hello, Sage. How are you? Doug says, I was wondering if they had the the wind over there too. The wind didn't bother guys with strong arms. So what does that say about Aller? Excellent point, Doug. What does that say about Aller? Mm. Mm. What does it say about Penn State's receivers that Julian Fleming had to go in there and teach them how to use a fucking jugs machine? You kidding me, Pam? Holy crap. That's pathetic. And then the one good receiver transfers out. Lambert Smith. Sad. Anyway, Sage says over for Colorado and their team win total of 5.5. Okay. So over 500. Okay. 6 wins. Pookie and Ray Ray says Sonny is your Mike linebacker. Okay. I have no problem with that. I like Sonny. I think he could play anywhere you want to. You know, you just have to teach him everything that he needs to do, and he'll do it. He doesn't care. Billy says, I'm not an Aller apologist, but I've heard Penn State guys say it was the windiest he'd ever seen. The windiest. Okay. It's possible. Anything's possible. But yeah, that was bad. I don't know why they bothered trying to throw, you know. If it's that bad, I don't know. Seems like a waste. Sage says the windiest stadium I visited was Illinois. Yeah, that's talk about middle of nowhere. Holy crap. That's most of Big Ten stadiums. Odysseus says, let's push for 50 sacks this year. I'm on board with that. Yes, bring it on. There's no reason we can't. You got senior laden defensive line. You got the fastest linebackers we've seen in quite a while with Hicks, Styles. There should be no reason we can't put up some numbers in the sack category. You know, I agree. Odysseus says BIA should help for sure. Yeah, lock them up on the outside and see what they're going to do. Pookie and Ray Ray says 3.5 sacks per game. I like that. That's aggressive. That would put us at number 3 last year behind Penn State and UTSA, the Roadrunners. Meep. Troy says Sawyer's going to have a huge year. The way he manhandled Hinsman to get that sack was impressive as hell. Yeah, put him on his ass, didn't he? That's why I am not. That opens up a whole can of worms there. Who said that? Troy. Yeah. That opens up a whole other can of worms, and that is the right guard position on the O-line. I'm very concerned there. I'm concerned they're going to start Hinsman there. And I'm out on Hinsman. I don't think he's good enough. And he's still struggling to put on weight. So anyway, Pookie and Ray Ray says 2.5 interceptions per game. Oh, I like that. Let's go see what last year's was. Interceptions per game. 1.54 was number 1. Oklahoma had the most interceptions per game last year. So you're going a full interception over that, 2.5. All right. I don't know if teams are going to be able to get the ball out against these corners, man, and this D line. But I'll take 2.5. That's got to be some kind of record. Doug says, "Are you serious? Julian Fleming taught them how to use the chucks." Yes. What do they pay their coaches for? Not development, apparently. Yeah, not good. Yeah. One of their other receivers said that Fleming had him in there working on the jugs, and they were like blown away. It's hilarious. Odysseus says Franklin going to Franklin. Yeah, exactly. You can bank on it. Banking on Franklin. Well, let's check their over-unders on season wins. I should have had this ready. Sorry. No offense. Penn State. has 9.5. Over under 9.5. What do you have? Hurry up. We got 4 minutes to go. 3 minutes now. Okay. Let's wrap it up. Give me, on the way out the door, give me your over under 9.5 wins for Penn State. As I finish up the chat, Tyler says we're going to destroy Penn State at Happy Valley. Those receivers can't catch a cold. No. Doug says that was a hurricane force winds that day. Odysseus says maybe a whiteout, though those are always tough. Yeah. All I know is they better work on that fucking running game, man, if you're going to have a tough day against us, because the passing game's not going to get it done again. Troy says, I'd rather see Tegra start at guard, let him develop. He looks like he has the toughness, just needs to get some experience. Exactly. He's a third-year guy, you know. It's about time to get him on the field. I'm personally, I really thought Luke Montgomery was going to be in the running for that position. So now it's a 3-man battle going into fall, it looks like, between Hinsman, Luke, and Tegra. So please make the right choice. I don't give a crap that Hinsman started at center all last year. Back to the chat as we wrap her up a little bit. Doug says Jack Sawyer is going to have a year like Hutchinson had for the Cheaters in his 5th year. Sawyer will lead the league in sacks this year. All right. I like that. Yeah. Can we get Jack up to like 10 sacks? Can we get double-digit sacks by somebody on the D-line? Anybody? God, it seems like forever ago. It had to be 2019, right? Chase Young? That has to be the last time. It wasn't 2020. He's only played like fucking 8 games. Okay, here comes our over-unders for Penn State. Odysseus has them at 8-4, so under 9.5 wins. Doug says under. Troy says over. Okay, 10-2. Okay, we got a believer. Sage says under. Billy says under. Doug says, I agree with Troy. Let Tegra play. Yes, I agree. Let's make this a real competition. Don't just hand it to Hinsman because he's, played before. You got to remember, he's still only in his 2nd year. He admitted this spring that he should not have been out there last year. He was not ready physically or mentally. He said he didn't even know what the hell he was doing on some plays. That's a huge red flag, man. Do you think he's fixed everything in one offseason? I kind of doubt it. Hopefully, but I doubt it. Yeah. Give me a true position battle for that right guard spot. And I mean, Luke Montgomery played AAU basketball well into high school. He's got good feet, athleticism. Get him out there in a pulling guard situation, kicking out a DN, something, wiping out a linebacker, get to that 2nd level, lay out some dudes. Luke Montgomery's fucking good, but Tegra's good too. I can't pick between the two of them. That's my point, Doug. Hinsman's too light, not strong enough. Yes, thank you. Should not have been playing last year, But anyway, I think the majority says, Jack. Pookie and Ray Ray says Jack 11, Mitch 6 on the sacks. Okay. I like that. I like Mitch Melton getting in there, getting some action. Tyler says under on the Penn State win total. So I think we have a majority here, big time. Doug says Luke needs to get a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'll listen to that. But that's nothing an off season, a summer you can't fix. You got May, June, July. Probably start fall camp the end of July because the season starts August 31st. So you think about from the first game, they back up like 4 or 5 weeks for fall camp. He can get up to 320 easily. So, all right, folks, appreciate everybody joining in, hopping in. Lively chat session today. And make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button, please. And we'll be back Sunday night, me, Jeff, and Sean. And we're going to talk more spring heroes. And who knows? Maybe we'll have some more transfer portal news to talk about, but we'll get their thoughts and reactions to the spring game. So, all right. Talk to you guys later. Go Bucks.